Hello, welcome back folks to another Magic Arena video where we're playing Patience. We're playing Patient Building Control, and for those that are about blue-white control, don't worry, I've got something for you afterwards. The next deck, total polar opposite, so don't worry, this isn't the end of fun decks. I got the polar opposite. I play all decks, know your enemy, play this. But for those that are loving control, well, I'm not a major control person. I play control like an aggro deck and an aggro deck like a control deck. So, I mean, I'm that kind of person. Anyway, so this is basically a Teferi control, no Gearhulks and patient rebuilding instead. And then, you know, here's the thing. A lot of people say this enchantment, 5 mana, big investment cost. Sure, it's a big investment cost, but it wins you the game if you if you untap with it. Yeah, it's real good. So, enchantment for 5. At the beginning of your upkeep, target opponent puts top 3 cards of the library into the graveyard. Then you draw a card for each land put in the graveyard this way. So, versus an aggro deck, a little lower land count, probably not going to get as many lands, but maybe versus another control deck where you're running a big pile of lands, patient rebuilding probably going to flip over at least something every single turn, and it's just passively controlling the board. And Braska's Contempt can't hit patient rebuilding, which is very relevant for, I see blue-black control everywhere. That said, I've had somebody comment on the mill video that they tried this exact technique in blue-black control, and it's just as amazing. And it's just passive card draw. Alongside Teferi, you start drawing enough cards that you can completely protect Teferi and patient rebuilding at that point, usually straight up to the emblem, in which patient rebuilding's milling them, and you're getting the extra draws that go with the emblem. They all work together. Anyways, at the bottom of the curve, we have 3 seal away to deal with some aggro. Blink of an eye to do that as well, maybe if you'd like, I don't know. Or just get rid of problematic permanents, get it out of the way for just a turn. 3 Essence Scatter, more creature stuff. A singular Negate just to deal with what the heck happened, and I need to get rid of that now. Singular Search for Azcanta because drawing 2 feels terrible. 4 Disallows, obviously. 4 Cast Outs to deal with anything. 3 Settle the Wreckage just to just deal with Carnage Tyrant. And much of green. 4 Glimmer of Genius. Card draw, 2 Fumigate to clear a board, the patient rebuilding, 3 Teferi, and a commit to memory in a pear tree. Of the lands, I don't have a play set of Glacial Fortress or anything in the Irrigated Farmland, but I do have 2 Field of Ruins and an Arch of Orazca in here, as well as a Memorial to Genius for the lands that matter. So, with that, that's the deck. Let's get into some games and see how milling our opponent works. Alright, we're on the play. We have some Seal Away and some Disallow available in time. We're against Niched. Just had a game where someone played Grixis Chain Whirler, PNLR, and I'm like, this is red deck wins with Grixis mana base. What the heck is going on? And I didn't know what to expect. So I was always expecting worse, and it was just red deck wins that was confusing me with that garbage. Don't have the Essence Scatter for that, so whatever. We can always disallow the follow-up. Oh. Well, if that's the case, then goodbye. Yep, he knows what's what. Well, simple as that. Bolt the bird when it truly mattered. And it truly mattered there. Alright, we're on the draw. Disallows on the draw feels little gross, but we still have Blink of an Eye to cover some things. We're against Kekotino. And it looks like this is the kind of game where we're going to... Why does the control mirror always come out when you're playing control? Then again, I see nothing but control. The arena is 100% control. Don't let anyone fool you. Anyway. Yeah, you got it, buddy. We're going to be doing a lot of this back and forth. Until somebody gives up. Let's see if our patient rebuilding beats their, yeah, okay. You got it. Well, that was unusual. Anyway. Well, nothing happened, and then still nothing happened, and we're just going to drop this too, because we're okay for mana, meanwhile our opponent is not. So we're in a great spot, and apparently they know too. That's how control works. Person that has the mana wins. Alright, we're against a bearskin, we're on the play, we can't cast the cast outs, but, I mean, we can cast Blink and Disallow, I'm sure we'll get the rest in time, there's enough lands in here to figure it out. So let's see what a bearskin plays. A bearskin? A bearskin? Oh, I guess he's just lying on the floor. Okay, he got up. He got up. So our opponent, yep, you got a thing, and that gives us our mana easily. We'll just jam that down right now. Easy. Easy, 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 easy. Is this what people are talking about slow control? Oh, yeah, that's not a control attack. This is the control attack. Heart of Kieran. Yeah, sure. Piss off. Alright. I want that thing disallowed 100%. Hopefully it tempos him enough to play it again. We'll see. Maybe he plays something else that's totally freaking useless. Whatever, it works. Screw your Jade Light. Alright. Stuff to do. Let's see what our opponent does while they're sitting here with guesswork. Yeah, sure. We'll eventually get this settled. We're just going to Glimmer here. A Paraland, so it's a 2-1. Even better. Even better. He gets a land drop, sure, but whatever. Okay, Essence Scatter's pretty good, and a land that happens to be Field of Ruin. Do they have non-basic? They do, so that's good enough. So we'll jam that down. That's our double white. Easy. So we'll see what they run in this time. The heart's not doing much right now. Not without a creature that can crew it. Yeah, that comes down, sure. It's the 3-mana creature that's the problem afterwards, right? Because the heart's never a problem right now, and I can simply cast it out anyway. So, what's the follow-up? You tried to bait me. Now you're gonna, do... Okay, that's, kill on sight, isn't it? So, 1, 2, 3 leaves, how's this math work? 3, add 1. 3, 4, 5, minus 2, or minus 2. Oh, God, math! Screw you, math. Screw your main deck, bestiary. Alright, well, whatever. So we just scattered the worst thing that comes up, but yeah, that had to go. Something likely to get countered immediately without prejudice, it would be something like a Bronto. But, I mean, there's plenty of really mean things in their deck. So we'll let the Jade Light happen. It's fine. I'm gonna blow up that Foul Orchard. Might be mono green plus Scrap Heap Scrounger with the Foul Orchard. It's probably what it is, actually. Opponent thinking very carefully about attacking with their 2-1. They want to be extra cautious to make sure that their blossoming defense doesn't get interrupted. And you go away. Really? Auto-tap the white? Whatever. I wanted to be able to cast out the heart. But, I mean, whatever. Well, Bronto's gone. Running out of gas, but, yeah, okay, we're good. Blow up that. Go snag the second white. Hey, opponent. Very thoughtful opponent. Very thoughtful. Gotta be carefully deciding how their rope goes down on every action. Ah. Riveting video! Thank you, opponent, for making this the best it could be. Plains. Okay, so they don't have swamps. I didn't think so. That's a quick cut off. You know what? Off you go. Irrigated Farmland's not truly necessary right now. I'm sure that we'll find more lands, and I just want to get something like that while our opponent uses a timeout or a turn that involved playing a Bronto and attacking. And depending on what our opponent does here, I mean, we could just sack the Memorial to Genius, perhaps Fumigate. I would very much like to just cast out the heart, but what if they have another heart? But if they crew, we can settle. So there is that. So we'll see what happens. I mean, you still got plenty of cards. Ew. Another one? Alright, alright, alright. That's gross. So he gets a trigger no matter what. And I have to get rid of that thing. Like, have to. That's too much advantage. I want it gone. So that we can get our true value off of Settle the Wreckage, Fumigate, and all that stuff. So we'll clear that. No more of those! I know this is the dream matchup where you kept 2 bestiaries, but come on! 2 bestiaries main deck? Come on! Anyways, Meandering River shows up. I shouldn't be making fun of their deck. It's whatever. It's green. It's a green deck. And guess what? If it's not control I see these days, it's green. It doesn't feel creative. It's bestiaries, sure, I've run them before. So, whatever. But still, doesn't feel creative here. But then again, I'm not playing something creative today either. And this Jade Light's actually going to town a little bit, which is quite interesting. Very thoughtful. You know what? Screw this. Hit end turn, let him go at the triggers at his speed without me interacting. I'm just gonna fire up the Memorial Hydra. Sure. That doesn't matter to me. Now they're like, hey! The counterspell that I got a Bristling Hydra in! Yeah! Doesn't extend. Alright then. Alright. Crack this Memorial. Get some anything. Some counterspell backup. That kind of thing. Or some more cast outs and glimmers. That's fine too. So, our opponent has plenty of lands that Settle the Wreckage doesn't matter. So, we're gonna Settle the Wreckage. And I don't care what I settle, just settle something. Ideally the heart, so sure. I mean, if heart just sits there, then fine, I guess. But this is about the time when I start hitting Settle the Wreckage. It's enough that they still attack with everything, but not enough that they attack with just one thing because they can profit it. Of course, if they just attack with one thing, yeah, okay. Sure, you got it. You did it. Can't get sealed away. You got another creature? You got anything? I'm not going to hit end turns, because sadly I can't put a stop on combat. That's gross. Fine. It's nice to draw all your Brontos then. All your Brontos, all your Bestiaries. It's almost like you hate control a lot with your green. Anyway. So, yeah, sure. At least I clear most of the board. They get a bestiary. They might get some value out of it. But, I mean, we can still... well, they'll have 2 mana left over after it, so we can just cast out on our turn and we should be okay. Seriously? I mean, I have to take this seriously. If I settle... what's that leave left over? Let's see what happens. Oh, screw it. Piss off, Heart of Kirin. There's your settle. And I am the type of person that'll settle for one creature because that's all people attack with. Because they suspect settle. He did all this extra hexproof activation, wasted his hexproof only to attack with one creature. So, I mean, whatever? What's your next trick? Galta. That's a Fumigate. No matter what. Alright, well, go away. Sure, they get the bestiary back, but for at least a turn, they get it back. But that's a board state that just needs a Fumigate. And it gets rid of the heart as well. The heart might have been expendable. They might have a second heart. And if they're stuck on heart, then whatever. I think they were just trying to set up their Galta. And now the Galta's gone. I think that's all the math they were trying to do and why they were trying to do it so slowly. Anyways, I'm going to just click end turn here. So they'll have responses, but after that, at least the turn to go fluid here. So, opponent, you got a bestiary, you get a Gigantosaurus, so like it wasn't a thing. I mean, I guess. Why do they always have the 10-10 as a follow-up? Why? It's every time. Like, it's like clockwork. There's always the 10-10. Every time. We're in a spot where we actually need a couple answers. Alright, Yeah, just fire off a Glimmer. I need to know what I'm going to do about that thing. Not land it to death. Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, we're just going to have to deal with it now. They have the response, which is gross, you know. Real gross, but, I mean, I have to force them to use it. I have to force them to have it. You find out they have something broken, like 3 Blossoming Defense in hand, and we were dead next turn. Yeah, I'm gonna clear it. God, I hate playing against green. It's just big stuff, and removal is so very limited that they're like, I can do whatever I want because my crap's just so big for removal. I mean, you need Black's murder effects in order for it to really work. We're going to find out that 3 of the 4 cards in hand are Blossoming Defense, and that he had a playset in hand, and that we never could remove this Gigantosaurus. Nope, well, we're down to 5. Alright. We're definitely firing off this Glimmer for whatever we can find. A Fumigate, I really don't care, but still, nonetheless, yes. He's got a Bestiary down, which obviously shreds control. That, like, there you go. It is what it is. Although our opponent is taking 10 years to cast a Rampager right now because he's got to think about and read every single trigger right now. And he's got the Rampager just getting him everything he ever wanted. Which is just disgusting. So, we're going to need next board wipe. We've used 2. And for counter spells, we've seen 2. We've seen 2 board wipes and 2 counter spells to actually stop this stuff from happening. Yeah, whatever. Uh-huh. How's those timeouts working for you? Oh yeah, you're at 0 timeouts and you're about to just pass your turn every single turn. Hopefully he has something complicated next turn and he just skips his attack step. Oh, nice. Okay, well, let's just look like we're busy. Keep the busy work going. Disallow's pretty good. And an Essence Scatter. Perfect. So that gives us... Oh my goodness, opponent. Yeah, it's... Yeah, sure. End turn. Please take your turn. So we can Essence Scatter something real bad post-combat, but that's kind of where it ends. And he might throw something like a big Haymaker afterwards if we want the Essence Scatter for that moment. Unless he finds like every elephant and just goes through his entire deck. Yeah, I hate you. You have all these creatures and you just attack with 1 at a time. Whatever. Everyone plays around the settle. It just feels bad when they play around the settle with 1 creature. So off that goes. No more 10-10. The Rampager is lethal with a Blossoming Defense, which is a problem. Our opponent burning his timer because the rest of us don't have lives. Really? It happens to be Scrap Heap Scrounger of all of them? Find me a board wipe then. Actually, I could have Essence Scattered that just fine. He doesn't have black mana. And then I hit the trigger thinking it was too late. You know what? It's too late already. We're boned already. You know what? Yeah, we just need a board wipe at this point. There's nothing that can happen, so save these for something that would otherwise kill me. I think we're done. Honestly, we're done. We were never stopping this. He just vomits stuff. Okay, well, Teferi decides to show up. Teferi! I believe in miracles! Fumigate! He's just burning through his deck.
This isn't a fight you can win.
We're boned. Either way, like, unless we top deck exactly what we need here, we're boned.
Keep up the pace!
And I highly doubt it. Seal away. Yep, I'm gonna call it there. Alright, we're up against Goblin Lore. We're on the play. Something's wrong with this hand, and I think it's because the lands are wrong. Anyway, I've been recording a lot of games. I have yet to really draw or have an opportunity to cast Patient Rebuilding, but it's in hand this time, and Teferi, I need lands right now, so please go away. Let's see if Patient Rebuilding gets an opportunity. It might be a slam on 5 easy, who knows? We're going to need land for it all anyway. Let's have the Essence Scatter ready. The 3 doesn't matter as much right now. And nothing happened. Sure. Meandering River, go ahead. Can't help but notice there's an entire lack of goblins in your deck so far. Like, a lot less goblins than I expected in your deck. I expected at least to get Chain World. Come on. Have some self-respect. Let's see if we can get this Patient Rebuilding down at all. This is blue-black, so Patient Rebuilding will stalk them. Just be cautious of that. And Miss Land Drop is not good. Alright, what do you got? The Scarab God on 5 easy into open blue-white mana. Why not? No land drop. Well, maybe they got another one. We're going to cycle this. Fine. Sure, whatever. Let's see if they break again. This is a cast-out cycle, opponent. Alright, a Glimmer. This gives us stuff to do now. Okay, I'm good. Now they try to punk us out with anything that doesn't matter. Just click an end stop, hit enter, and if something comes up, then we'll deal with it as it comes. Oh, they're going to jam something else. Well, that's gross. Don't take the Patient Rebuilding, seriously? Maybe you're dealing with your Scarab God, something like that. I don't know. But please, don't take the Patient Rebuilding. Don't take it. Don't. You son of a... Actually, we need the land. We need both of these. Plus, Scry 2 top is scarier. All the cast outs all the time. We're never going to cast it, but that already tells you how threatening that card was. Is that through all of these things that could deal with all of their things... Yeah. Field of Ruins, I don't need right now. We can draw something else. Negate's fine. That's a good one to have. And, we actually need a land for that to happen. So, at the end of the day, I suppose we can cycle cast out. That gives us a Meandering River, and we don't have to discard the hand size. Alright. But now we have Negate back up for Patient Rebuilding. And just kind of stop what our opponent's doing for a hot minute. Oh, they're going to do something. Champion of Wits. Yeah, you got it. Sure. You got it. So we absolutely want this patient rebuilding to go off without a hitch. So how do we make it happen? How do we make this happen? Not with a Champion of Wits. We can seal away Champion of Wits on another turn. But we're going to make this happen one way or another. And hopefully before it's too late. Also, what did they bin? Essence Scatter and Fatal Push. We could just force it through right now. What can they do after it's down? We'll just get so ridiculously far ahead. Yeah, how about now? Finally! I got one down, folks! It happened! So this is versus control deck, so I highly expect a lot of lands to get pushed off. Anyways, we're tapped down, which means they can do some things. Sure. But, I mean, based on our hand, this just doesn't matter. Yeah, sure.
Ugh, the living are just so needy.
So they can pull back Scarab God, but at the end of the day, that's just Scarab God.
Necromancy is an art.
So not a big deal. Yeah. And now we mill them. They get plenty of tools to work with. Let's see what they... Oh, we snagged a glint sleeve siphoner from them. We took 3 pieces of gas. We didn't want them to have probably any of that, to be fair. Alright. Cast out Liliana. Too much of a problem. We'll take this one step at a time. So that goes. And, yeah, we're just going to let this happen. They don't have the mana to do it on end step to bring back the siphoner, so whatever. Maybe we can protect a... like, we don't want them to have the gas. They're going to get the glint sleeve siphoner. We get to fumigate it, but I'm sure that we'll find something. We'll see what happens. We disallow anything really bad. Like another Liliana would be an example of that. A Gearhulk out of nowhere, who knows? Well, a Gearhulk out of nowhere is not a big deal, except whatever they are casting off it, which would be Supreme Will in this case. And they're touching all the cards before they make their decision, and they're going to bring back the siphoner. That's fine. They may have another activation, but that's okay. We want to just most likely fumigate targets. However, if we can seal away the Scarab God, or at least make an attempt to steal a counter from them, then great. It also prevents anything else from happening in that case, so we'll seal away the Scarab God. Which actually happens, unless a disallow occurs right now. Nope. Cool. Scarab God down. Now it's an easy fumigate and call it a day. Or settle the wreckage. We can hold settle. Anyways, mill some cards. They get a Champion of Wits. Gearhulk. Like I said, we're fueling their graveyard, so it is a thing. So, settle costs for disallow 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I did not expect to be drawing nothing. It's very rare to just blank that much versus an opponent. Yeah, sure, fine. I want to be able to deal with the Champion of Wits as it stands right now. Or force them into a situation where I can get away with something. No. That works. Then it must be Supreme Will that they've got. Well, let's find out. Put them to the test. Do you have it or not, opponent? Yeah, that doesn't work. You didn't lose anything. You're gonna have to use a cast down for that one, opponent. There you go. You got it. Them minimizing the amount of lands that come out has got to ensure that this trigger goes off sometime. We get an Essence Scatter and a third Champion of Wits in their yard. Wow. Alright, well, I mean, this kind of thing does happen. We are milling them at the end of the day, so this doesn't matter too much. We can start blinking them or something like that. I don't know. We've taken out most of their threats. We can just go for the most key critical threats. Like, we can blink a champion. We can seal a champion. We can fumigate a champion. But we have to disallow a Scarab God, an Essence Scatter, and all that. And please go away. Well, opponent? That's what I thought. So now they have memory if they want to. Sure. What's next? Their fourth Champion of Wits in their top half? At the fly bothering my hand. Anyways, Glint Sleeve Siphoner is a problem. I don't want that around ever. So off you go. That is a big problem. Just because it'll... Yeah. I don't want to deal with it right away, sort of thing. Lands! Yeah! Vraska's Contempt is gone. Actually, several Vraska's Contempts are gone. We've taken a lot of gas from our opponent. I think we're in a general state of... Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. Yeah, this is fine. I get it. We're going to get the freebie blink of an eye on this one before they draw. That's what I wanted. Now we have something to fight them regardless. We are milling them at the end of the day. They are at 19 and they have 3 Champion of Wits. Never to return. You get the idea. Their memory they will have to fire. And they don't want that. And we can disallow the memory. They're returning cast out, sure. You got it. Alright, mill some more. Yeah, those are fine. Namely, because we have Teferi, and Teferi is... I'm going to click off screen as I windmill slam Teferi. Nice tap out, bro.
I know my responsibility.
I don't care about the zombie that much. We can seal it away, I suppose, if anything. So with the commit to memory, why am I clicking off screen? Because the hand is so low to the bottom of the screen. Alright. Shep to the end of the turn. Pop a couple of those. Gonna fire that memory. Or are you just going to fire another one of those stupid things? We can protect Teferi for quite some time. A Torrential Gearhulk. Torrential Gearhulk's going to get Orazca's Contempt. We don't want that. So, no. Wow, okay. These are still useful for creatures. So, they're tapped down. We got a lot of land out of that. But we did get Glimmer and Negate. Straight to face? No? Alright then. Yeah, we want to keep the Teferi, thanks. So please go away. Mill them! Get our own commit to memory. We're gonna definitely be the winners off of this at the end of the day. Unless these are all non-land. Wow, okay, we got some gas right now. Some serious freaking gas. I think we're just discarding the hand size. We need to discard how many cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just one. Is there anything we can cast? No. Alright, well, tap some lands, ship the turn. And discard an island, I guess. Keep the Field of Ruin around. So we got some lands. Alright. Field of Ruin shows up on our opponent's side of the field. No. I said no. No? Our opponent's full of gas today. Okay. I'd let that go and just cast it out. As much as we have the Essence Scatter, just having it out of here, yeah. Well, we got there either way. Opponent's memory apparently really sucked. It's like, Scarab God, no graveyard now. Great card. But, nope, we did it. Anyway, we got a chance to use it. It drew us some extra cards. We got to the point where we're discarding the hand size, which is exactly what we want. It involved the memory to do it, but Patient Rebuilding managed to get down. That was a lot of misses with it. Like, our opponent must be playing a very low count of lands or something like that. Either that or he was drawing the lands and that's why he memoried. He just had all lands in hand or something like that and just low action. He's just banking the lands in hand as if, you know, as if he's got cards. But we knew he wasn't fighting us on any extent. So, well, that's the deck, folks. I encourage you, if you're control players, to certainly try out the blue-black version as well. Apparently it is just as useful. Everyone says, telling me that Patient Rebuilding is just that good a card in playtesting. So, I mean, definitely experiment with it. If you're on the fence, definitely try it out. It's got some situations where it's good and not good, just like Gearhulk. So, I mean, decide how you want to play your play style. This is just an alternative play style, running Rebuilding instead of Gearhulks for the win. So, with that, hope you enjoyed, folks, and take care. Bye-bye.